Insanity Pod, episode 10. We're in the wonderful Windy Workshops here in Wellington. We're joined by Dozy Doe today. Cole's on the couch because he's a bit hung from last night. Say what up to the camera, Cole.
Hey, what up, Cameron?
Joined by Jace as usual. For everyone who doesn't know you, where did everything for music start?
For people who don't know me, I'm just a music producer in Auckland. I usually do trap music or metal music. And how I started music was being in metal bands since I was like 11. Yeah, so I actually just converted from like metal and rock into hip hop and trap like when I was like 20.
You can still hear those influences in your sound now, I feel.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, totally.
What made you want to get into metal like at such a young age?
My dad's like been a professional musician like his whole life. So he kind of influenced like all that rock shit on me when I was really, really young.
Yeah.
Now I just picked up the guitar and like fell in love with it at like 10. And I was like, never put it down since.
What type of music does he do?
He does like rock, like old school rock and like a little bit of metal and like soul, jazz kind of.
Have you guys ever had like a jam together?
Yeah, he's a bass player.
Oh, man.
So I got it like, my music was like passed down to me almost.
Yeah. What were some of the bands you were in early on?
Like, I was in like some shitty ass metal bands, bro. Like some pretty good ones, but mostly like hardcore and like death metal and shit, like real hard stuff.
Would you like compare like the metal scene to like hip hop?
Oh, I guess they both have their like cons and pros. Like hip hop's like, to be honest, you can probably make way more money off doing hip hop, and like you can be way more self-directive with hip hop as a producer. But with metal, you need like a real tight clip you want to get anyway, because it's like real band oriented. Like you need to know how to work with a lot of people, which is kind of the fun of it too. Like being with your mates all the time, like music, touring with them.
So you've been making music for about 10 years?
Yeah.
And with all your beats now, you make them all fully from scratch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like having full creative control over everything you do?
I've been pretty like, had a problem with authority my whole life kind of thing. So yeah, I don't like people telling me what to do or that to do. If the vibe is right, I'll do it, you know, like if it's like both of us are like going in that direction, then I'll do it. But like if there's conflict, then it's like, oh, we should just stop there, like try something else, you know?
Is that why you left those bands, or?
Yeah, kind of, because with metal, it's hard to like, with rock bands, it's kind of hard to like maintain it for a long time because there's so many different minds in a band, usually 4 or 5, and everyone's gonna like grow and like spread off to a different path in life. You don't really want, some of the bandmates don't really want to be in a metal band forever, you know what I mean, or do music forever. So it's hard to like hold it together like, over a long period of time as like a band, I'd say. But all this like hip hop stuff, you just kind of like move from group to group and work with people you want to work with. You know, you just need the right like numbers or the right connections, and you just move on.
Yeah, I've noticed that like you're tapped in pretty well with like even just overseas artists. Like, how did you even get in contact with a lot of the overseas artists like Kamiyato and that?
Well, I actually just hit them up. Like, I'll pay you for a feature. Like, it's kind of business, right? Like,
Yeah.
you just hit them up. Look, I'm willing to pay for whatever, a verse, a chorus, and just send me the rate. And they'll send you a rate and you pay them. You're kind of connected, like, from that payment. And if you're, like, loyal and you make good music, like, he's going to keep wanting it. So that's how I made my connect with him.
How important do you think is building relationships and maintaining them in the music industry?
I think it's, like, the most important thing
Yeah.
you should be looking out for. A lot of people can get, like, super egotistic in music, and I've been guilty of that myself in the past. So, like, kind of gatekeep from people and shit. But, like, really, like, you never know who's going to make it and who's not, bro. So it's better to just like know everyone and try help everyone in the community.
Yeah.
Try build something together rather than like, oh, I'm the biggest producer, or I'm the biggest rap. You know, like we're all trying to make it out and then.
Yeah.
So it's better to just, New Zealand is just lacking, I feel like lacking a solid community.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
It's fragmented a lot.
But you guys are doing pretty good.
Oh, cheers, bro. Appreciate it.
Trying to create something.
Totally. And no one's really doing like, I don't know, like this video content for like, I don't know, artists breaking through or like kind of that level. So
Yeah.
that's something that I'd like to watch. So someone's got to do it, I guess.
Yeah, it's needed, I feel, to bring it together too.
Definitely, man. Like, cause like well, my views, most of it is like overseas. And most of the people who listen to my music are like far overseas. They're not actually from locally. Like barely anyone knows me here. But you know, it is what it is.
Do you like that better, or would you like it better that there was a lot more people that know you here?
I don't know, because I don't know the other side. But
Yeah.
so far so good. I can keep my privacy here and like just live my own life, kind of like secluded a little bit, than just like being just known everywhere. That kind of suck, I guess.
And also the thing about doing hip hop as opposed to like any other genre, I feel like hip hop can reach so far globally just in your bedroom. I don't know if like any other genre can quite reach that scale. It's like,
I think it's like the internet era has really like changed everything about music. I'd say like back in the day, you'd like have to go buy a CD or like, and that CD has to be like, the record label has to be like in touch with that specific CD store so they can actually ship their albums in, right? Now we have Spotify and SoundCloud, YouTube, like everything's just accessed right there. You want to like discover new music or post new music, you can do it to the whole world if you want.
Yeah.
With a click of a button on your phone, you know. Like it's changed the whole game if you think about it. So that's why like it doesn't matter what kind of genre you make. I just feel like you just have to find your lane and just stick with it.
Guess hip hop is just more like it's more bigger than a lot of the other genres nowadays.
I feel like because it's a little bit more simpler to make. Like it's one dude makes a beat, one dude raps on it, boom, that's a song.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of other genres would like you need an orchestra in or something, or like you need live guitarists. Or
Yeah.
it takes a little bit more to organize some like a bigger genre like jazz or like orchestra. But with hip hop, usually there's a dude on a beat pad. He makes the loop, makes a song out of it, and then says it to the rapper. And he makes his bars. It's really easy to just factory it out, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you get the formula.
being in the industry for like, you've been doing this for about like 10 years now, is that right? Yeah. How have you adjusted to that change of everything going so online and like even just more so instant with like stuff like TikTok and all of that?
I'm still struggling with the TikTok side. That's like still kind of new to me. Yeah. I'm like, I'm part of the older generation where like phones came out when I was 14. So, 12 actually. So I'm like not too used to phones. Like these kids these days, they're like roll like.
Because if they grow up with that stuff, it's just like second nature to them to use it. Yeah. Whereas we grow up with like fucking, I don't know, Bebo.
To be honest, I just learn a lot. I learn a lot from the youngest Bebo. Cringy ass, man. It's like 12 years old, customizing your own Bebo, eh?
Yeah, like sending hearts and shit. I was stacking up the hearts, bro.
I had like the cringiest poses on my guitar, like on my singlet, you know? Oh, bro.
Are they still up there? Oh no, Bebo still a thing or like?
Nah, I think it is. But
I might go digging for Dozy's Bebo, eh?
that was like the olden days of social media. Now it's just going a lot quicker. And everything's moving way quicker. Every video is getting shorter. Like just gotta like with TikTok, it's like really like quantity more than quality. I see. Like you just gotta keep posting, man. If you want to be seen, eh? Yeah, because people just go, you know.
Yeah, it's just like a slot machine. People just going straight session.
Yeah. It's like the one video they'll catch in the most with the vibe, you know, they'll replay it. Like, they'll save it.
So you just put out the EP with Sempre, The Evil in Which We Thrive. Yeah. Well, how did you end up meeting Sempre and what was the process of making that EP?
How I ended up meeting Sempre was pretty funny, actually. He hit me up probably in 2018 or 2017, and he was under Death Eater. And he hit me up, and then I was like, he had really liked my music back then. And I was like kind of like still like a druggie kind of back then, like on Xanax and shit. And I kind of just like overlooked this message, eh? And years later, I see this dude like 500K monthly listeners. I'm like, fuck, I gotta hit this guy up. I freaking message him like, yeah, can I get a feature from you, bro? I'm ready to pay rates. He's like, oh, just scroll up, dude. Like, I've tried to fucking message you 2 years ago. Like, I scroll, I'm like, oh, fuck, my bad, bro. Like, and he's like, just send me something now, we'll do it. And I send him the Beats a Nightmare.
Oh, yeah. That went huge.
That's where it started, bro. It snowballed from there, to be honest.
So it's all online too with that.
Yeah. So he discovered me ages ago, and I was like too in my own head to even fucking look at it. And I'm glad he gave me a second chance, to be honest. Pretty grateful about that.
Yeah, you guys sounds complement each other really well. Do you see yourself outside of the making the tracks and going on tour and doing the DJing and stuff like that?
I'm pretty keen when I suss out my papers and whatever his management wants from me, and I'm there for him. If they don't want me, I'm all good too, you know. Because I got like my own kind of ideas I want to put out there too. So I don't want to rely on the bro for everything, man. As a musician, you should be like, got your own shit kind of like established too, you know?
Yeah. What are some of those ideas?
Like I'm trying to push more of the trap metal shit and trying to getting into video editing and trying to make my own art and like photoshopping. A lot of the stuff that I drop now is my own photoshopping and shit.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to like, cause when I met Sempra, bro, he really inspired me, man. That guy like makes his own beats, makes his own art, makes his own videos, drops his own shit. Like doesn't rely on anybody, doesn't need anybody, bro. No. That's kind of like what really inspired me to do music hard again. I guess like you don't really need no one, just trust yourself. Like, your friends will help you out. They're good friends, you know. Like
he's a freak, eh?
Yeah, he's crazy.
And just to the level he's doing it.
He's a monster, bro. Like, that's why he really deserves it. Yeah, the track with Fast and Furious got Biggie on it.
Yeah,
freaking
using that beat.
Bone Thugs. I was like, damn, man. But yeah, that's so cool that seeing someone from the New Zealand underground get that big, right? It's inspiring, bro.
Yeah.
It's hella inspiring. Cause like, what fucking comes out of New Zealand? Not trying to shit on this place, but
and he's just so like, I don't even know if he really realizes the scale. Like he's just so chill about it, almost too chill.
Well, it's probably hard to realize the scale. Like
yeah,
because we doesn't have.
But he's just never changed the whole time. No,
he's kind of changed like the whole underground scene here for sure. Like
the way people look at it is like, oh, you can actually do it.
You can
do it from here and fucking
and make it.
Yeah.
Do you reckon more people know about him now?
100%, bro. Yeah. I'd say he's got a pretty local pool at this point. He's quite internationally, he's huge. So
yeah,
I think New Zealand kind of follows international markets a little bit, like especially America and Europe, Britain.
Yeah.
You guys notice those trends? Like when they make drill, we make drill. And like,
yeah, that's true.
When they make trap, we make trap. Like Lil Pump drops something evil or some shit. When the mainstream does something, our mainstream kind of copies it too, you know?
Yeah.
We don't really have our own style yet. We're just trying to like see New Zealand hopefully come out in a few years.
Well, because we don't really have our own culture in New Zealand. It's random.
Like, yeah, but that also makes it like where you can just take parts of different cultures and mash it together and make it so like, make it completely different from whatever you see, you know?
Yeah.
Because we have that advantage. Like America kind of comes up with the most creative shit because they've got so many cultures, bro. Like, it's all mashed together. Like, that's why their music always comes out weird and like creative. Because they're taking parts that they're seeing, they're just putting it all together. Like, and trying to break the rules a little bit. New Zealand, I think, lacks a little bit of that, but we got heaps of good musicians here, man. And artists, and videographers as well.
We really feel like how small we are. We have so many dope artists, like all kinds of fields too.
Yeah. We have a lot of good artists, and I think we're like pretty slept on by the rest of the world, to be honest. As long as everyone keeps doing their thing and pushing it out, you know, they're gonna look at us.
Yeah.
What's your process when you're working with like an artist in the studio, like with Sempra, for example, on the EP?
Usually would come up with like, he could give me an idea of a beat, like, oh, make me a slow, evil beat, or make me a fast, hectic beat. Like, he'll give me like an energy, and I just try and make a beat on that concept, you know? Whatever sound I find that matches that. Like, he wants an evil beat, so I get like a horror violin or something reversed down and put crazy ass big 808s and over it and shit. Like, just kind of like taking abstract the ideas and try to make it your own thing, I guess.
How do you describe to you the JDM type?
Yeah, that name.
Low key, like the songs, like that beat's kind of like me take like a little bit of a piss take. I love that beat. Yeah, it's just like a house that you get, you know, you get high as shit and you fucking listen, hang out a little bit to it. But yeah, it's more like having fun, man. Those kind of beats. Like sometimes you're not gonna take it so seriously. I reckon like music is for fun. In the end of the day, art is for fun. Like for me anyway. Like, so you just gotta do something that just kind of like not so serious sometimes, and it'll do it well too. Executed it well, right?
Is that more fun when it's like not as serious?
I think so. Yeah, it can be like way more relaxing and loosening, but then you can kind of get a little bit lazy if you don't take it too serious. Like,
yeah,
you know. So like when you take it all the way, then you get that beat that you really want.
Is there any other like subgenres of hip hop you want to explore, like producing wise, or anything that you kind of fuck around with and don't put out?
Yeah, I do want to start dropping a little bit more like electronic music and lo-fi in the future, like fully the opposite of what I'm doing now. Just because like doing one thing does get a bit boring. Like, and like, as a musician, you are pretty a versatile artist. So like, you should just explore anything you want.
Even when you see those good results like coming from it, does it make you want to like keep going towards that same sort of thing, or?
No, even if you get good results from it, like, I just feel like I personally get bored of like one style of music after a while. So like, and if I'm dropping stuff that I'm bored with, I'm just not happy with it. Like, it comes with regret. So I don't like to drop anything with regret. As soon as it's out the door, it's out. You're like, next one. If it doesn't do well, if it does well, nice. Like, you just keep shooting it out, you know?
Yeah, it's important to stay versatile, especially being a producer and way to work with like multiple artists. Everyone's got such a different sound as well. But what's some of your other close collaborators you work with?
I've been working with Zarkin from Arizona, Phoenix. Like, does a lot of like screamo stuff and like screaming shit over my trap metal beats. Sounds pretty dope. Like, not something I've ever heard before. That's why I like working with him a lot. You know, like sending him my beats. And then we have Lataro Bubblegum.
Yeah.
From Auckland. Yeah, those two boys I blew up a long time ago were there.
They're killing it, bro. They're so young.
Yeah, they're real young.
It's crazy.
They were killing it a long time ago with the aesthetic rap. Like, they've just been doing their shit since.
How'd you meet them?
Bro, to be honest, like, I just messaged them, like, and then they like kind of said the same thing, like, as Sempre did. Like, they listened to my shit a while back because I did music with like people like Rahul and shit. Yeah, and like those people, they like kind of knew, they were kind of like a little bit inspired of what me and you used to do together. That.
Hey,
yeah,
we go way back.
Yeah, bro. They used to be inspired by how you put like fucking Friends and Enemies on, like when you did the videos for them and like.
That was a DJ.
Was that on you?
Nah.
You did like a one gig with Rahul, wait.
Nah.
It was not you, eh? Nah.
But I appreciate it.
Oh,
He'll take the clout.
I thought you did it anyway because I saw you there with the camera.
I filmed that one with you, True, and I did like.
That's right.
We don't really talk about it.
We need that money, bro.
But yeah, they got inspired since we were doing that shit back in the days, and they kind of like hit me up and they just want to do music.
Right, as a producer, do you scout a lot of your talent, or do people come to you, or is it 50-50?
It's pretty 50-50.
You know,
like sometimes some people come to me and I'm like, yo, this guy's dope. But most of the time I'm trying to look for people I really like listening to, personally. So I know like my style would fit with his. Like, it just clicks in my brain, you know, certain rappers.
and you looking at like when people rap, like I can make a mean beat for him, or he can do mean on my beat?
It's kind of both, I'd say. Like that's what a collaboration is, right? Like, try to work together to make the best thing possible. Like, so it's, to me, like I look at like what a rapper can do and what he can do consistently and see if it can match my style. And if it does, then I click and ask for the feature or whatever, do the 50-50 royalties.
What else do you think is important for yourself as a producer, like looking to like work with an artist as opposed to like the music? Is there other things you're kind of like keeping tabs on, or like the way they market themselves, or?
Yeah, definitely, like, because being in this music shit for ages now, I realize that you really do have to market yourself properly, like have a brand for yourself properly.
There's so many dope artists that are like have got it, but they just need like the marketing. They just need to push, and like also the branding too comes with it.
Because I think people need to understand that when you're an artist, you're like selling yourself. Like, you know, like you're the brand as the artist. Like, you're the product. So you gotta kind of act like the product a little
So
bit.
it's like how you act, what you wear. Like,
Yeah, what you wear, how you dress.
Yeah.
How you hold yourself up, like, against other people and shit. Or, like, comes with it. You gotta remember not to let that take you over. Like, you're still you.
Yeah, you gotta try to put yourself into that.
Yeah.
Like, just
Like split personalities.
Yeah.
Like, have you got those down? You got like, can I say Ronald?
Yeah, Ricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, bro. Like, I can't. Sometimes I do keep it separate, but sometimes it's hard, like, especially when you're hanging with music artists that are your friends too. So you like kind of like let loose and just be yourself, you know? And it kind of gets mixed in a little bit.
What's the difference between Dozy Doe and Ricky?
Well, Ricky, like, low-key, like, just likes physical exercise and video games, and Dozy Doe likes drugs and music, you know?
Was there like a moment or like a period of your career where it started to feel like, oh, this is serious, this is a job or stuff?
Definitely, especially when I started putting heaps of money into my own studio and stuff, like spending like tens of thousands of dollars on speakers and computers. I was like, I really need to make this money back, you know. So
How old were you when that was all happening?
21,
21.
yeah, 27. So
Yeah. How was it like dealing with that at such like a young age? Because they're still quite young. Like,
it was hard, man. It was really hard. I was like living out my freaking. I got kicked out of home around then and lived in my friend's garage, just making music. He let me set up my PAKs in his fucking garage, my iMac, bro, and just like made music there for 4 years, just on the grind, broke as hell.
And you was bringing artists through there too?
Yeah, like on the benny, just bring anyone I could, bro. To be honest, just to practice, you know.
What's the first big placement you had that kind of started that kind of other direction for you?
I'd say when I started buying like Kamiyada and Black Sand features, that's when it really like, oh yeah, I kind of like put a foot into the scene, you know, this heavy shit, you know, like I wanted to do that. And I was a little arrogant back then too, saying I was like the best producer in New Zealand and shit on my phone, bro. I still remember, still got all those cringy ass videos on Instagram, you know, like when I was first starting as an artist, trying to get that clout, bro. And now you look back and you're like, what the fuck was I doing, eh?
you just feel like you're like following what was on the internet at that time?
Yeah, well, I believed it was.
Yeah.
You know, then didn't get me nearly as far as just making good music.
Yeah.
On it. Like all that clout shit and all that like Instagram shit doesn't come with anything unless you actually have good music to back it up, you know?
What are some of like the things you've learned through doing music that like taught you like that personal life or relationships?
Don't be too trusting of people. That was a lesson I had to learn through this music shit pretty heavily. A lot of people can take advantage of you, man. Like, you give out too much, like you give out the hand, they go for the neck type thing, you know? Like you just gotta like make sure they're good people first before you really want to work with them heavily.
Is that why you're kind of reserved when it comes to sort of things?
Yeah, because I had some bad experiences down here and in Auckland.
Yeah.
Like working with a lot, like being too sharing with a lot of artists and then them to my studio and shit gets stolen and, you know,
Fuck.
money doesn't get paid and clothes get stolen. Like got that bad at one point. Like people would like fucking take it, like I'll be sleeping, they'd take the wallet out of me and shit at the studio, bro.
What?
Yeah, like it got to that point and I like got real PTSD from it, you know, and, like just kind of like cut everyone out. Like for a while, had to like refine my own headache. Like, slowly came back into it, you know, because it can be dirty. The music scene, it's a pretty cutthroat industry. Eh? You either make a lot of money or you don't. Unfortunately, it's how it works, you know.
What's some advice you'd give to like any upcoming producers?
I'd say the best advice I can give them is to be consistent. Just keep doing it. Just keep going, no matter how much pain you're in or how much of a situation you're in. You just gotta keep going because your art's only gonna get better. Like the more you work on something, the more hours you put into something, the better it's just gonna get. Especially when you like really put your mind to it, you know. And I think everybody in the world has the potential to do that, like make great things happen. So just don't give up on it, to be honest. That's what I see that happens too much with musicians and producers. They give up or they half-ass it. Like they don't believe in it fully. If you really want to make it from it, really want to do it, you really got to believe in it, in yourself, you know.
What keeps your mind on that? Like, how do you keep your mind centered on that?
To be honest, like, music's what I love doing. Like, it's something that I really enjoy doing in life. And, like, that's really what keeps me going. Like, honestly, it gives me purpose. Like, already to, like, see people and listen to my music and, like, really enjoy it. It gives me a lot of purpose, you know. Like, gives me, like, a really good feeling. I guess, like, fuck, like, people actually appreciate my art. I'm sure a lot of artists are like that, too. They just want to be appreciated, bro. Like, you know?
Yeah, being seen. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. And you gotta work, like, yes, you gotta work really hard for it, bro, to stick out, to be honest. Like, it doesn't come for free. Nothing does. So just put your mind to it, work hard, man. You'll get the opportunities. It'll come, you know? Just be open-minded.
In your early career, when you're like working in the studio garage and like really pushing and working with local artists, not quite getting to where you are now, what was the one thing that kind of kept you going other than like the passion for music, just to like push and then get to where you are now?
To be honest, I just like wanted that dream to become reality that badly. To be honest, like I've always had it as a kid. Like fuck, like, this is the one life I have. If I don't get this, and my whole dream is gone. That one dream I held on to for fucking 10 years is gone. Like, it's not worth it, bro. Like, just push, you know, because then you won't regret anything you've done. Even if you don't make it to the level you want to be, at least you did something. At least you tried your hardest, you know. Like it feels better than anything.
And most people wanted to try.
Nah, most people give up because they get discouraged from their first song gets 20 views, bro. Of course, anyone will get discouraged, you know.
Yeah.
But everyone's gotta start somewhere here. You gotta remember that too.
Yeah, I think everyone's got to learn that, like, you get to places by failing.
Yeah, but
Like, you're not going to fucking...
Taking so many hours.
Yeah, you, like...
look what you are now, though. Like, you're running gigs for the whole scene and shit. Like,
It's cool, bro. I don't have that perspective of it.
yes.
I'm sure 2018 may be like, well,
Yeah, it's from failing and from meeting the wrong people and doing the wrong things that make you do the right things, you know.
Yeah. That's probably why a lot of people that, I don't know, get that overnight success probably, like, fall off is more because they haven't learned those lessons.
Yeah, and they still stick around with ugly people, like, you know, like, I can't sugarcoat that for you. There are ugly people, bro. There's people that are like, you know, maybe not right inside you, and they still got their own issues and shit. They take it out on you, bro. Like, there's heaps of people like that. We're all guilty of that at one point.
Yeah, that's so true.
So, like, but music sometimes can like make the ego even worse. You know, it's such a like self-indulging thing. Like music, like you're expressing yourself.
Even behind the beats, like, I feel like a lot of artists say that when they're doing the lyrics, but is it...
No, I feel like if you're making beats, you're still putting a part of yourself.
Oh, definitely, but, like, yeah.
Like it's like you're not saying the words, bro. You're just trying to make it into the language of music.
The feeling, yeah.
You know, it's just the feeling. It still comes out, bro. Like any beat maker would tell you that. I reckon it's not just like numbers and patterns, bro. It's like an actual feeling, you know, that comes out onto a piece of paper, like a painting. So, like a door is just your canvas, man, and you're the painter. Like, it's still a feeling you gotta have to, you need to have to make good music, I'd say.
what are some things you're doing to like progress as an artist, or like innovate your beats, or like push into new genres, than like the real heavy metal stuff you're doing?
I try to listen to a lot of like music from other media, like movie music, and like TV show music, and like background music. Or I try to find influences from those kind of places, because there's really like when people push the boundaries of shit, like they're like they're trying to make music for a certain scene. It's pretty hard if you think about it. Like, what does the sunset sound like? What does the ocean sound like? That's how I think of it. Yeah, it's like a painting, bro. Like, you want to make something grimy, you gotta like have that dark piano. To me, it's like the 1940s kind of piano, and then you put a nice ass beat on it. You get like a nice like kind of like mafia type beat. You know, you want a heavy ass beat, you put a horror sound over it, big 808s and shit. You create like a big wall of scary sound. You know, so whatever kind of like direction you want to go, just think about it literally, almost like.
So when you're trying to find inspiration in these sounds, would you just put like a long part or like a long track of like a playlist like different sounds like that? Or like...
Yeah, kind of. I go on YouTube, to be honest, and I just like search up this movie's soundtrack. Oh yeah, I kind of heard this, and I think of a vibe, like I want like a peaceful vibe today. Then I'll search up a peaceful movie soundtrack, bro. Like a movie I've seen in the past that has like a nice soundtrack. Like, and then just listen to it until I find like a section I really like, and then put it in the beat or try to recreate it. You know?
What are some of the movies that have your favorite soundtracks on it?
Recently the bros showed me Midsummer.
Oh,
Fucking crazy sound. Crazy movie, bro.
That's all the mushrooms and shit, eh?
The one, yeah, they like drug everyone, and they fucking, it's like some cult, some Viking cult and shit, bro. Scared the shit out of me, man. The soundtrack in that was amazing. Makes you so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I fucking watched in the theaters, man. I was just like, what the fuck's going on? I didn't even know what type of movie it was, and I was just like, oh.
When the fucking dude jumps off the thing.
The old people, like, yeah.
It's so real, the way they film those parts. Like, the sound effect is just like you would hear, and you hear it in real life. There's no, what's that word for?
Organic?
Foley. There's no Foley behind the fucking thing. It's just like, it sounds like his head got crushed by a rock. And those kind of scenes really like inspire me almost. Say like, fuck, like it's like so real, bro. Like, it's like almost disturbing how real it sounds.
So you're also looking at the sound in the movie. It's not just
the soundtrack.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's how you like surprise people with music, I think. Like, this beat's going, then you cut out the whole beat and you put this one sound effect in.
You like watch the movie like a week later, you're still thinking about that one part of that one sound, and it's like, fuck, why is it not left my brain? You could put it in.
Yeah, and you watch it over and over again, you spot different shit. Like, with a good movie, I think, you spot different parts, why it makes it so good. Sometimes silence makes it mean. Like, that's why I learned too, like, sometimes you make the beat silent for one bit. sounds crazy when it comes back in, you know? That gives people that unexpected feel, like the uneasy feeling, and boom, beat chops back in. Like, it's got, like, a lot of it is inspired from movies for me, like watching scenes of shit, you know?
Have you ever sampled anything like real buzzing? Like not like anything you would expect?
I've sampled Midsummer and shit. I've sampled fucking
High School Musical?
High School Musical. I should try it one time. That's a good idea.
Good little soundtrack.
Yeah, bro. Trying to make the heaviest High School Musical beat ever.
I'll jump on it.
Fuck. Dan's first rap song.
I got songs to this on the boat.
You got something today.
Nah, just fucked up the real recording.
Oh, it's confirmed from Noah.
All goes through to my mate.
I never get, I can't write for shit, so my brain doesn't work that way.
But you still, at least you still give it a go. I love to hear it again.
Well, you had fun with it, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun with it. That's how everyone starts, man.
Yeah.
You don't take yourselves too seriously when you start, to be honest. Everyone sucks when they start, bro.
Why'd you just assume I suck?
Maybe you don't take.
I think I got it.
So you got it?
I think I mixed up.
Well, what makes you believe that, yeah?
He sees the vision, G.
I just got so much belief in myself, bro.
Yeah, hard. On ass, G.
On ass.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
I'll just tell you like a little bit serious. Do you think your parents have grasped your success and like do you share with them? Do they fully understand like what you're doing?
Yeah, now these days they definitely. Come here, little homo. No man. My mama. That kid didn't do his homework, bro. But yeah, they kind of like, yeah, they were pretty strict on me. They didn't want me to do music at first because my dad didn't really make that much money off it. They were kind of like, don't make the same mistakes your dad did, you know? I just was too stubborn, so I just kept it going, and eventually I did something with it, and they were real proud, so they just kept pushing it from then on. I think that's what most parents is just looking for, bro, like, that you just do something with your life. Like, you don't have, it doesn't have to be what they want. You just have to succeed at something. And they'll be happy with that, to be honest. Doesn't mean you make heaps of money or anything, just like you're happy with your own life and it's stable, bro. Like, you know, that's all they want, bro, to be honest. And eventually my Asian parents, they're like strict Asian parents, bro. Like, eventually just
Just want you to be happy.
thing. Yeah, and I'm kind of like a lot happier since doing it, to be honest, knowing that my parents got my back. Like, which I know a lot of people don't even have parents to fucking, in this music scene, to even have that back, you know.
What was your childhood like, and did you always live in New Zealand?
Nah, I lived in Vietnam for like 10 years, oh, 7, 8 years maybe. Came here in 2002, so yeah, I spent like probably the first half of my life in Vietnam.
Was that quite a culture shock, even though you were quite young?
Yeah, bro. I used to come here and I would get bullied a little bit, and I've been traumatized by English. So like later on, when people would just try to say hi to me, I'd just start fighting them. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Just they say hello and I start fighting them because I've been like traumatized from like
Yeah, like I feel like
first coming in, bro.
I feel like a lot of people that were, I don't know, like that weren't British, like in the younger days, they just fucking got ripped on in school.
Yeah.
That's just fucked.
British.
Like, all they were just like basic white people.
Well, my family a little bit fucking violent. They always didn't care. Like I didn't fucking heaps of fights. They're like, yeah, just stand your ground. And eventually, that's probably the best advice they ever gave me, to be honest. Like, you have to stand your ground. That's when people start respecting you. Like, just leave you alone. You know, like, you just let them push you to your limit, and you start acting out, man. You get yourself in more trouble.
Yeah.
You just need to stand your ground there and then, and they'll leave you alone.
You act out in like a different way where...
When you do anger and you go, I want to kill them or something, and do something drastic, that's just going to get you in more trouble, you know? You just need to stand your ground, bro, and just like fight them there and then. Yeah. Do whatever you need to do there and then, and you just gain their respect from that, I guess. Like,
is that how you got into tequila?
yeah, I guess so, bro. To be honest. You probably ask a lot of ticket boys the same thing, and they'd say that. Like, at least you're fighting or hurting yourself, you know?
Do your parents bump your shit?
Yeah, my dad does.
Oh, hang on. What's that?
Memory?
That was fully out of memory.
Where were we at?
Yeah, you'll see.
Oh, you said that your parents bought your shit.
Yeah, we'll just run that again. Are your parents bumping your shit?
You sound like the whitest motherfucker saying that, bro.
Yo, your parents
Bro, that show.
That's fun.
I ain't trying to be anyone else. I'm not there.
Nah, they do, bro. My mom doesn't really like it that much. My dad enjoys my music because he's a musician, so he's open-minded. My mom thinks it's too fucking crazy. She's always like, "Oh, it's always this sound. I fucking hate it." Like, it's pretty funny, man.
Does she do the hands too?
You need
He
to,
knows what it is too, and it cracks me up.
you need to sample her doing that and then chuck that in a beat.
Chuck that in the start of a beat.
Yeah.
She'll probably sue me, bro. But where's my creative control?
Do you think it's easier now, say in the last 5 years, for artists to make money online?
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely getting a little easier, man. Like, that's a good thing, I'd say. Like, for a long time, we were like considered like, you know, the broke people of society, and like the people like they're escaping their own problems, but really we're just trying to do our thing. Now we're finally getting the opportunity to like show how important it is.
You don't have to go for a label anymore.
Nah, you don't. Still helps out a lot. The labels still run everything, I'd say.
Are you signed to anyone, or you're completely independent?
Completely freelancing it.
Have you ever had any offers before?
Yeah, I have, but bro, they're kind of dicey, you know.
Any name drops?
I can't, bro. Well, I don't think it's a good idea to, bro.
No, if
Tell you after
you're not
I'll
allowed,
tell you after the interview.
that's all good. No, I understand.
Fucking yeah. He just had job with these, like, one record label tried to pay me $20 a beat for like 3 years.
What?
And I was
The
like,
fuck?
ha ha ha, you know, like, give them the sorry, bro, but I need to eat. Like,
How many beats do you make a day, even at the real shit?
on the real, bro, I can only probably make like 3 beats a day.
Even at the real shit, you could roll it up.
Sorry?
You just make real shit.
10 beats a day.
Fuck, bro. I think you'll drain yourself and make no money. That's what I thought.
That's only like $200 anyway. That's
I'm just saying.
$100 for like 30 beats, bro. Fuck. Might as well be on wins, man, you know?
back in the garage.
You know, just back in the garage, just be on wins, bro.
It's actually today's sponsor on the podcast.
Yeah.
Glad.
What's coming up next for Dozy Doe? What do you got in the works for this year?
I'm trying to try more trap metal stuff and funk house stuff. Cause I actually enjoy making funk house. It's really fun. Like I said, I don't have to take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a fun beat. You're trying to just put out a fun vibe for everyone to dance to, you know, get drunk to.
Yeah.
It's just pretty easy to make for me. Like,
Hey, do you think you enjoy it more because there's like someone else in that scene that's in New Zealand too?
I think Semper is the only one who's been doing this function, really put this function on in New Zealand, eh?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm meaning though. Like, because you did a tape with him, I reckon that's like,
Yeah, I can't really put another finger
yeah,
on a person in New Zealand doing it, that's for sure. A lot of the good funk artists are from Russia and America. So we're kind of like real, like, in our own box of it, you know? Like, New Zealand's got its own funk now because of Semper and me. Yeah. It's kind of cool. Oh, I do need to put on another bro. His name's Pooty. He's a funk producer and he's been doing this OG funk shit for ages. So that's another New Zealander that you guys probably have to check out here and like look at beats off, because he really inspired me too. Yeah, he's like a true underground like SoundCloud funk producer. You know, really like shaped this genre. And a lot of those people are slept on, man. Like, really need to check that shit out. You know.
Yeah, when I met Sempro, I thought I kind of knew all the producers and artists in New Zealand. Right. But he had like 300k when I met him. And like, that totally shocked me. So there's definitely artists in New Zealand that we don't even know about. They're lit as fuck. Yeah. They're just so low.
that was like Bubblegum and Latour. Like, we didn't know about them at all.
They were 1 million monthly listeners a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, already cracking it in the scene on the low.
Yeah, and like I feel like other artists in New Zealand were just more known about because they were pleasing the audience. Yeah.
Because there's really 2 ways you can make money here, I think, off music, and that's performing a lot of shows here and creating like a local show kind of background, like kind of like the bro Rob, bro. When I played his last show, when I DJ for him, man, I fuck, he knows he's got a local pool. That is really rare to have in New Zealand. You know, having a local pool is one of the hardest things you can do here, bro. Like, because there's not that many people here, so a lot of people gotta actually know you, like. And he cracked it somehow with that. So I think he should tap into that live shows side more, because the people actually know him here. Or people like me, like, I'm like a Vietnamese dude who lives in New Zealand. Like, I'm a little bit different. Like, I don't know how to express it the same way as the mainstream crowd wanted to, because I grew up different, you know. So I gotta like go on the internet to find my audience, if you want. Like, a lot of people who already have it here should stick it here, because it's only gonna get bigger. New Zealand's growing, bro. It's only gonna get bigger. And having a local scene set, you're pretty well on. I'd say,
That's so true.
because you can get paid right there and then rather than wait for the internet shit to come pay you. You can just get paid at the show every time. And if you have consistent pull, you're always gonna get paid. Like,
Thanks for coming through, bro. And also,
good,
on
man.
behalf of Cheeky.
oh, thank you. It's gonna come in handy tonight, bro.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you, guys. See you at the show, Dan.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.